you have a history like mine, it means you have to teach your children how to drive early.
Hey, that's it! Look out, girls. Move your legs. We're going to the ranch.
Just a good old boy. Never mean
Reporting for work, sir. If I do good, you gonna feed me?
beats all you never saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves.
So has he been working at running hoops?
He was great.
Don't scare me. Don't scare me.
All right, Biscuit, you can go for it.
This is gonna be fun. I mean serious. This is gonna be serious, good fun, and you're all welcome. Draw anytime you're ready, Finn.
We got to take the weapon.
Try again! How are you?
You know, we filmed some of Dukes of Hazzard at Paramount Ranch. I think that's the last time you saw Johnny Cash.
Who's Johnny Cash?
Gee, you see why I call him a dipstick? Go get him, go! Now, I'm your superior officer.
I
Right?
know that, Sheriff.
Look, no hands. You're doing right now what they call blind driving. They would have a camera on me like they are here. My hands would be out here and you'd be doing the stunt driving for me. Just like that. Because as an actor, I'm not supposed to know how to drive. But we know that's not true.
Well, Lulu ain't what she used to be. That's all I can tell you. Wait till you see my chair. It's called the Jimmy Best chair.
Oh, really?
Because you had it when we did the Dukes, and I have had insisted on one ever since. It's 3/4.
Well, we already drove by the entrance to Paramount Ranch, so I don't know where the rest of the guys are. We'll turn around up here.
What'd I do wrong? First one to throw a football. Huh?
How many Dukes of Hazzard General Lees did we go through?
I know. I know exactly.
How many? 409.
300.
I thought it was
Well, there were no
Some of them
309.
came in and went out so fast they didn't have
309, and we added, that does not include the show cars that, they had out at World of Wheel shows and things like that.
You might have guessed we do things a little different in Hazzard County. See you later.
What?
I think that's funny. We're a little backwards, get it? Backwards? No? It's a tough crowd.
I'm glad to see you.
Thank you. I'm glad
How are
to see
you,
you.
beautiful?
I love you.
Hi there. Hi, sweetheart. I do look pretty.
Oh, so beautiful.
That's my boyfriend.
Hey, Sonny! Hey, you're gonna cut you and shut you. Oh, my God.
Wow!
How are you? Oh, nice it is to see you.
Rick, hi. Rick, hi.
Oh, I gotta put my brakes on.
Put your brakes on, girl.
Oh, it's so nice to see you.
You brought that little toy.
Brought the car, yep.
Wait a
The only
minute.
one of us that hadn't gotten any older. Well, no, here's one that hadn't gotten any older.
I saw you last night, boy.
Would you turn that off?
You do?
My brakes.
I'll
This
just
is
work
the
on it.
brakes.
I'll
Yeah, fix that, would you, Cooter?
Blow the horn.
Honk the horn, Biscuit.
Biscuit, huh?
Look out, watch your ears.
Just a good old boy.
All right, and we're rolling.
All right, so we've been doing this since the fall of 1978, which was 25 years ago, and the first time the cast got together,
November 7th.
November 7th,
Wow.
1978, the Holiday Inn, to read the first episode, One Armed Bandits.
In Atlanta.
Yes.
No, in Conyers, Georgia.
Conyers, Georgia.
Right.
The old exit 41, in fact, the Holiday Inn.
Off the I-95.
No, off of I-20.
Don't fight.
Say, boy, I'll tell you. I'm the historian. But anyhow, and I'm sitting there thinking, we're reading this, and I'm just looking around, and there's, I'm thinking, that's pretty good. There's Jimmy Best and Sorrel Book and Denver Pyle, who are the, all great
Classic actors.
classic experience, bring all that experience.
Sonny Shroyer.
You got, well, me and Sonny, who were, they found us in the swamp down there. And
The
then
same
just
swamp.
sort of like
Crawled out
Rick.
from under the same
Rick, like,
rock.
we was raised by wolves. And
Was I there?
you came in the next week to do repo.
Sorrel and Denver and I arrived about the same time.
We got John Schneider. We got Kathy Bach. We got Sorrel Book. We got Denver. And I said, holy mackerel. I said, how this is going to be. Sonny Shroyer.
Got the Germans here today.
When I first auditioned, I was doing Hooper with Burt Reynolds, and they called me over and said, do you want to do a series? Would you like to go over and see about a series called Dukes of Hazzard? I said, I don't want to do a gang thing. And they said, no, this is a good old boy thing. And I produced a picture for Burt, with Sonny, who's in it, by the way, down in Georgia, Conyers, Georgia. They said, they're going to shoot the whole thing down in Conyers, Georgia. I said, are you kidding? I said, if they'll shoot it down there, I would do Gene Autry and who doo-dooed in the saddlebag. I don't care.
It was also, a lot of people forget, it was a 9 o'clock show. So it was a little rougher around the
risque.
edges, a little risque.
Especially with
Then-
what they said about you two.
Wait a minute.
You're the oldest what in Hazzard County?
Oldest virgin in Hazzard County.
Oh, okay.
I remember
Still don't know what that means.
Rod Amato says, Enos, I want you to look at Daisy's legs right here. Her legs are right here. And I said, Rod, I need Daisy's legs right here. I don't need your.
So me being
Your
the
hand there.
accommodating actress that I am,
Yeah, you came in and showed your leg, and
for 12 hours,
I look like an idiot studying pimple or something.
Was that a character part?
Yeah, well, I was in character. Anyway, he was right. He was right. I mean, I thought I would be inspired by your legs, your $3 million legs, and I was inspired, but I was a poor actor. I kept looking at one little spot. I should have, took it all in.
Wow.
To me,
Sonny, for 25 years I've wondered about you, and I still don't quite, I just don't get it.
Since we're all together, I'd like to ask this cast one thing. 7 years, all of you had girlfriends and boyfriends and everything. Poor Rosco, I was stuck with a hog and a dog.
Right.
There was an episode called Mrs. Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Yeah, but she was a crook.
Well, yeah, so are you.
Yes, there you go.
Well, no,
John.
The Heart of Gold.
yeah, I was a 12-year-old who liked Hot Pursuit.
Okay,
I
all
finally got to see the front end of the General Lee.
That's what it looks like.
Sitting right down
Got
there.
that bar on the front. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I did not know that.
I like the rubber doll.
what?
What?
What did he say?
Oh, I know, the blow-up Daisy Duke doll.
Yeah, I like that.
The,
Is there a blow-up Daisy Duke
yes,
doll?
remember in the jail?
it was
I was
in
in
the jail,
jail, and then we put the fake Daisy in there.
She put the rubber doll in there, and I thought it was her until I picked her up. And it was nice that I could control Daisy for a little while.
Until she deflated.
Yeah.
And Sonny still has that doll to this day.
Well, Kathy, remember that beautiful profile that I had taken of myself and put in the hat for the makeup man?
No, I was so freaked out working with everybody in the beginning, and Jimmy knew just how to get me. I think it was my first
Are you going to tell us?
scene.
Okay.
Why? You know about this?
I know
Of
about
course,
it.
'cause you read the-
No, I'm not going to tell it, but I'm surprised that you're going to tell
Jimmy,
it.
well, you
Because
really
I'm not surprised that you would bring it up, pardon the pun. But
I was the one that brought it up.
were you really naked?
He was so naked.
no, he had his gun belt on. Didn't you have your gun belt in
He
your
had
hat?
his gun belt and his hat on.
Let me
That's
tell
it.
you-
Oh, and his cowboy boots. Does that count?
Now they can bleep this out. The makeup man used to hold the hat like this and make up your eyes. Well, of course, we're jerking our head around talking to people and they said, would you hold still, would you hold still? Finally put a Playboy magazine centerfold in the center of the hat. Well, that got my attention. And I thought, well, but poor Kathy, what about poor Kathy? She had nothing to look at.
Yes.
So I went home, took a Polaroid shot of myself with my hat, my cowboy boots on, and they put it in the hat. Now, you fade out. The next morning, I forgot all about it. We're out there. I hear Kathy scream. I'm not aware it was a good scream or a bad scream.
Was it a good scream?
It was. I about fainted. It was so funny. And I'm not going to explain that anymore.
I dare say.
Sorrel Book had a career as, Yale School of Drama,
Yes.
brilliant actor, Shakespeare, Broadway
Right.
career.
We fixed that.
But he had more fun doing Boss Hogg
Oh,
I know.
and brought more joy. But, with Sorrel...
made more money.
When he would go out and do personal appearances...
He was boss hog.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't go as Sorrel Book, he went as Boss Hogg, and he put the
course.
costume on at 9 o'clock in the morning and maybe see thousands of people and never get the slightest, not only not get out of character, but be working improvisationally the
Right.
whole time in character. And he went out just about every weekend. The guy worked 7 days a week.
Well, I remember one of the first times I ever rehearsed with Boss, like you were saying, before the scene. It was when Andrew Johnson was on the show playing the bad guy, the guy from Dirty Harry. So I sat down in the chair when they started running their lines in Japanese. Because Boss was
my gosh,
brilliant,
that's
man. He
right.
spoke 6
I
languages.
remember that.
Yes.
Brilliant, brilliant man. And Andy also knew Japanese, so they started running the scene in Japanese. And whenever my part came, they'd just stop and look at me, and I'd throw the line in English.
Denver Powell was he was like an anchor. I mean, that guy was so solid and so consistent, so experienced. And he was, he was order. Boss Hogg and Rosco were the law, which in Hazzard County was, what it was. But Denver Powell, as Uncle Jesse, was order. He was tradition.
Yep.
And,
He was family.
And he taught, I think, not just the Dukes and the rest of us around there, but generations of kids how to behave. Right from wrong, good from bad, a real moral authority.
It was a great way to be able to help raise your kids. And yeah, there was the driving and all that sort of things. But I've had so many people now over the years come back and say that they were so thankful to have a safe place to go on Friday night that actually helped them with their kids on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
That's right.
The things that I've been involved in since, it never ceases to amaze me how people just don't know how to deal with cars and cameras, Paul. You spoiled us. I mean, when I look at the show or I do something else and I think, gone are the days of the beautiful fallen oak tree and the water with the ducks on it and I mean, it's just so beautiful. Remember those great shots? We'd have the trees down and there'd be, remember one where the ducks were on the lake and then all of a sudden the General Lee comes flying over and the ducks are just getting out of the way. And
There was one essential element to the Dukes of Hazzard that people often overlook because, Rosco and Boss and then you and not just the camaraderie. Not just the camaraderie. No, more than that. No, I'm talking about Paul Baxley.
yes.
And Paul Baxley and his guys created the tone of this show, the pace of this show, the spirit of this show. They did it down in Georgia, and by the time we came out of there was an extraordinary thing happening. He took the chemistry of the cast and the fun of the idea and brought it to life. Him and those stunt guys, Gary and Craig and Junior and Henry and Bob Orson, deserve credit.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
making us look good
Absolutely.
week after week, and to me it was his show.
They were fabulous.
These guys did more stunts before lunch than most people do in a week. And there was a shot where the General Lee was driving through a ravine somewhere, and the 2 police cars came up and jumped on either side of the creek and then hit, boom, and then spun and then landed.
Yes.
And the General Lee, right.
Yes.
You had
That
to
was
bring in specialists for
unbelievable.
that.
I love Georgia. I thought
I
it was
love
just
Georgia
Georgia,
was
too.
Georgia's a beautiful state.
didn't have to build anything, do anything. Jump the car through a barn. They'd say, "Go ahead."
Yeah,
Yeah. We're going to tear it down anyway. You're helping us out.
Oh yeah. Never. And all the people would come out and help you. Like out here, you got to pay them $50 million to turn around. There would drive the horses, the cattle, the cows, everything. It was just absolutely.
Jimmy and I were in the police car and it flipped over, right? And suddenly, and the car is still smoking, and Gary jumped out and everything, and I look around and here comes Jimmy Bass toward, I said, Jimmy, are you gonna do this? And he said, yeah. I said, oh my God, and I turned to Paul and I said, it's still smoking. It could catch fire, and you said, Peg, we only had enough gas in to flip it over like a half a cup. It's not good. And I said, oh God. And then you said, baby, you can do it.
You did it.
Anybody calls me baby. Hi, Paul.
No, listen, she didn't back away
And
from
we
anything.
did it.
And Paul had so much fun doing close-ups, if any of you recall.
Not to me,
No?
he never
Okay,
did.
well then let me just tell you
Not
about
to
my...
you, baby.
So he'd get it ready, and he'd tell me not to frown for the hour before, and don't squint your eyes. That's not a pretty thing when you squint your eyes, and don't wrinkle anything, and suck it up, honey, and it's gonna be great. And just think beautiful thoughts, and I'm like, okay. So he had me running into the shot and pivoting and turning, and my hair swirling, and
You did great hair.
the way, I mean, Paul did great hair.
Do that thing. Do that.
And he had me choreograph it. Paul, how do I do it?
Oh, come on.
And
There it was.
yeah,
There it was.
sort of had it there. And then Paul, I said, okay, Paul. He goes, are you ready, baby? And I
There
said,
you go,
okay.
you
I said,
see?
I'm ready. I didn't frown for the hour, and I didn't think bad thoughts for an hour, and I wasn't mad for an hour, and I got up there and I twisted and I turned and I did what he said and sat on the General Lee. And then I looked out, and the whole set had their eyes averted. I went, this is a first. I must have been really bad. This is incredible. So I looked at Paul. I saw him behind the camera, and his eyes were down. I went, oh my God, I guess I really embarrassed myself on that. Jeez, I better. And I was out of my top. Everybody, and I just thought, Paul is so classy.
I wouldn't have heard it.
Trust me. I took a look first.
And I
That
just
was
felt
wasn't that
was
the
it.
picture that was in your hat?
Oh, God.
Paul has
But
that
it was
Polaroid
so
to
nice,
this
and
day.
we never saw any of those pictures. We never saw anything. Everybody looked the other way. Nobody made any jokes about that, and that was, from the top. That was a Paul Baxley class
Well,
act, and taught everybody else to act like
Paul,
that.
you still showing those on Thursday night?
Now, if I'm not mistaken, one of the jumps we did was a world record.
Oh yes,
in
it
Oxnard.
certainly
Gary
was,
going
yeah.
across the river, I think. And now, some of these quote-unquote daredevil people will promote something like that for weeks, build it up, Evel Knievel kind of folks, build it up, we're going to try to jump over this thing. These guys did that in the course of a day's work. Jump, okay, take two, go back, jump the other car, jump the police car. And they were doing that all day long. Then they go off and do something else. But it was a world record jump, and you can see it in the title shots of the Dukes.
When we shot in Georgia, it was this time of year, so the days were really short, and it rained all the time. Remember, it was
Snowed once,
and
too.
it rained. When it rains on that red Georgia clay, it is slicker than a ball tire semi on a mile of wet asphalt. And we were in the General Lee, and Richie was towing us in the camera car, and it got slick, but we'd been working with him for a couple of weeks, so it couldn't have been the first show. And we knew that he told us, he said, this is going to get a little weird out here, but don't worry about it. I got it under control. And in there, you know what the expression "keep it between the ditches" means, because there's a ditch on either side of the road. So we're in the car, and I think I had the brown corduroy thing on, so that was Repo Man. And all of a sudden the car starts to slide to one side, and I'm driving like that. And it was a car that had the full cage, because the first General Lee's had the picture cars had the full cages in them. And all of a sudden we go slap up against one thing over there, which means the tire's down in the ditch, and then boom, it popped back up. And then slap, we slapped on the other side on mine. And I know, when I see the shot, I can tell when it is, because I'm a pretty tall guy, and I'm sitting I'm sitting down there like that, and it looks like I'm about, you know, your nephew's size. And and I remember it was during that, and people have said, "How come you look so short in that car?" And that's why. It's because I was hanging on for dear life.
You're right about John being the driver on the thing, because he used to be very generous with his driving. Not only was he very good at it, but he was very generous. People would come to the set, and he'd take them for a little spin around the back lot. And my older son was about 5 at the time, and he came to visit the set all dressed up like Bo.
Oh.
And John says, "Come on, let's go for a little ride." And he goes, "Okay," and put him in the General, and then a cloud of dust. He was gone just in a flash. And it was 20 or 30 minutes before he came sliding back into the Hazard Square. And Ryan gets out of the car like this, with big wide eyes, and kind of half smile, and said,
I love it. That's so much fun.
"We went fast."
What's your fondest memory, Sonny? Do you have any memories?
Don't tell him.
My fondest memory, I think it was when Daisy was, I was talking to Daisy, and she was explaining to me how good her cousins were. And
I was?
yeah, the cameraman cut it after a while, but your blouse was open a little bit, you know, and it was
That was your favorite movie?
that was my favorite, you know, but
Not
the
your
camera.
favorite memory. Your favorite memory.
That was my favorite, both.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Well, I can't top that.
Yes, you can.
Brad Amato asked me, he says, "Can you do some of that CB stuff, you know, CB stuff?" We're down in Georgia, you know, and I still have it. I wrote it on the back of an envelope. I wrote this one. Breaker one. Might be crazy, but I ain't dumb. Crazy Cooter coming at you. And that's why I always pick up the CB and say, breaker one. Might be crazy, but I ain't dumb. Crazy Cooter coming at you. Any old Duke boys home with a hazard net. Come on. Lost sheep, you got your ears on? Years later, I'm going down the street to my basketball game, and there's some kids playing on the other side of a fence in a yard. And I hear this kid go, breaker one, crazy Cooter coming at you. And at that point, I realized, you know, what an important part of Americana we had become. And it was a really, really good feeling. And
The whole memory of the Dukes of Hazzard to me was a real blessing, because I got to be a part of a unit that brought a lot of happiness to this old world. I'm very proud to have been part of it. That's it.
I'll second that. For me, it was a double blessing, just getting the call that told me I was going to get to be a part of this and to share this, not only for the years that we made it, but who was to know we were going to get to share so much for so long. That was my happiest and fondest memory, was getting the call to say I was going to get to be a part of this, and to fit in with such a magnificent crowd of people that, like Ben says and like Jimmy says, we all were able to be on the same page and to create something of joy. There's so much tragedy on TV these days that we were able to create something that brings happiness and joy. And thanks to the Dukes of Hazzard, I have enough money to last me the rest of my life. so long as I don't live past next Thursday.
A thing that always stands out in my mind was in Georgia, in front of the Boar's Nest. So it was early on, and somebody drove by in an El Camino, I think, and blew that horn. Yeah.
Oh.
And Paul Picard, I think it's the only time I ever remember Paul Picard, other than behind a desk, got up and grabbed a Teamster and chased that kid down and bought that horn from him. And that's where the
Is that right?
that's right.
came from. So that's such a huge part of the show. the car flying through the air and that horn happening. And if it weren't for Paul really being on his game that day, I'm proud to have been part of it, just been there when that happened.
Shortly after we finished the fifth episode, I went to Mexico, and I got a phone call from Paul Picard, and said, "When can you get back in town?" And I said I'd be back in maybe a month or so. He said, "Well, get back as soon as you can. We've been picked up for 22." Now that is my favorite memory.
Were you surprised?
Nope, I wasn't surprised at all.
I would like to insert here with all of this beauty, it was also very, very funny. Yeah. I've done a lot of other things, but this one is, well, it was funny. It was fun. My God, the Waltons, I was so dear you couldn't stand it. You know? now look, I'm crying because this was fun.
And I have to say that the Dukes of Hazzard for me, and everybody that was on the Dukes of Hazzard, and until this day, remain family with me, every single one of you. And John, my little brother, who I always got to bail out of trouble whenever he had some kind of girl trouble or something, or he didn't think he was being a good boy, and I said, "No, you're being a good boy, you're a good guy." And I mean, all the things I
Nice cover.
But I
See,
had
she's still watching my back.
so much fun. I had so much fun with everybody, and I mean, it was a job, but it was so much more than that to me. It taught me so much, and I really learned about life, and I learned about relationships and getting along for a really long time with a lot of people, and it was the greatest. And everybody gave me so much love and gave me so much. It just changed my entire life and the way I look at life.
You know, the one character in the show we haven't mentioned was the one that embodies the spirit of the show, you know, and probably is the most famous of all the performers on the show. And that's the General Lee.
Son of a gun!
Better rubber, Bobber.
Watch your ears. Some America. Gonna do a yell.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves, flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get them, but the law never will. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow. Just a good old boy, they wouldn't change if they could. Fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hood. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow. Just a good old boy, they wouldn't change if they could. Fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hood.